worker program to deal in the areas where there are shortages. The high skills agenda that is desperately important for us, where H-1B visa holders languish and don't get their status improved. Investors, dreamers, people that come to our great universities, all these people should be welcome in our country, and the unwritten contract ought to be embrace our values, and you can pursue your dreams in this great country, and by doing so, you're creating opportunity for more people.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, joining us now to talk about the post-Mitt GOP field and what the economic message should be going forward is Larry Kudlow, senior contributor for CNBC and radio host of the Larry Kudlow Radio Show on Cumulus Radio. Larry, welcome back, sir. Great to talk to you. I do want to start, and I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you, since you're in that family of NBC, what you make of the Brian Williams brouhaha that's unfolding as we speak.
Well, I know Brian, known him for a long time, and I think highly of him. I may not always agree with him, but I think he's first-rate professional newscaster. So he made a mistake. He attributes it to the fog of war. Then he changed. He realized that after someone wrote him, one of the soldiers wrote him, that it was a mistake, and he fessed up. He said, "I apologize. I was wrong." And you know what? I think that's a stand-up way to deal with it. I don't know the details. I doubt, frankly, if he was trying to hide anything when he says he made a mistake in the fog of war. I'm willing to give him more than the benefit of the doubt.
All right, fair enough. All right, let's move on, Larry, and let's talk about a Mittless GOP field. Was that what you just heard from Jeb Bush? Is that along the lines of what you'd like to hear more of?
Yeah, I heard actually a couple things yesterday. I read the news accounts of Jeb's speech, and I read the speech, and I want a growth message. Growth. I want to get us back onto the long-term American trend line of 3.5%. I think Jeb putting out a 4% target is very good. I applaud that. A lot of details have to be filled in on, taxes and health care and immigration, but it sounded good. I heard Governor Rick Perry yesterday in Washington. He gave a very strong speech emphasizing the Texas model of economic growth, which has worked so well. Deregulation, low taxes, keep the government out of the way, entrepreneurs. I thought I did very, very well. One thing I want to add, I want total tax reform, lower rates, broader base, okay? I think that's part of the growth message, important part of the growth message. And I think marriage and parenting is also a very important part of the growth message. The culture of marriage and parenting, very important. And, of course, I'm for free market choice when it comes to education and health care. So, and let me add one other thing. I want a sound dollar. I want a sound and strong dollar. Reagan always argued that a great nation had to have a reliable currency. But let me just add one thing. Regarding the war and the horrible news, again, yesterday from Jordan and so forth, I want to see these candidates really stand tall and give America some leadership on the whole question of this war going on. This is freedom versus totalitarianism, okay? This is highly reminiscent of the Cold War, which was freedom versus communism. This is highly reminiscent of Winston Churchill in 1940 fighting Nazism in order to preserve the freedoms of England and America. People have got to see this in the clearest moral terms possible. Now, we don't even have a strategy right now to deal with ISIS, if you ask me, or the al-Qaeda threats, or Syria, and so forth. So we don't even have a strategy coming out of the White House. What did I just see? John Kerry was rated by historians as the worst Secretary of State.
I know. But Larry, let me quickly, along those lines, we only have about, a minute left. Let me ask you this. The prayer breakfast today at the White House, where Obama invoked the Crusades and said we shouldn't be on our high horse because people have been killed in the name of Christ. How does that help anything?
Right. Utterly irrelevant, clouds the issue, bringing back something from the 14th century. Who cares? Who cares, okay? All that is he's blowing smoke at us. This is an issue of radical Islamist jihadists. It is spreading, and this is a war, and this is freedom versus totalitarianism.
Yep.
And as Ronald Reagan taught us in the Cold War, the U.S. must have a strategy to win, not just contain,
Right.
but to win.
Yeah, degrade or whatever he likes to
And
say.
I want to see the presidential candidates. Perry's a military guy.
I
in the
know.
Air Force.
Larry, we're out of time, unfortunately, so they're going to cut me off no matter what. Hey, we'll talk to you before I see you in 2 weeks. Thank you. Larry Kudlow, ladies and gentlemen. Up next, Karen Agnes. Don't go away.